Hello everybody, Thunder here, and I just got back from watching Shin Kamen Rider in theaters, and it's time for a review. So I like to preface this by saying that this video will have spoilers, because I feel like I need to explain to you why my should you watch it scale rating is a meh. So I want to start with the good points. So mainly all of the stuff that I liked about Shin Ultraman, I liked in this movie. The cinematography is really nice. Again, they're using iPhones to record, so there are really like crazy angles. One scene is here, another scene is here, another scene is here, another scene is there. But it is to a lesser extent than Shin Ultraman. Shin Ultraman, there are some points where it was a little bit nauseating. So this time they toned it down a little bit, which I really appreciate. Another thing that I really liked was the acting, especially our leads. Sosuke Ikematsu playing Hongo Takeshi was a really interesting interpretation of this man that just went through a really traumatic event, and he has to kind of get to gripes with it, but also he needs to keep moving and protect the people that are important to him. So it's a really nice reinterpretation of that character, and it's one of the things that I like the most about this movie. Another thing is Miname Hamabe. I think that she did really good as Ruriko. Again, they reinvented her character to be more of a badass, and I don't hate it. I think it's a really good heroine type character for this movie. Another thing that I liked is the attention to detail that they put into recreating scenes and recreating dialogue, recreating BGM from the original shows. You can see that these people kind of grew up with the shows, and now they're trying to retell their own version of it, basically the best of that they had in their brains. So you will see things that are exactly the same from the original show. The first couple of minutes of the movie are pretty much episode 1 of Kamen Rider, including the episode 1 scene. But you will see other things, like, for example, an explanation why did they choose Hongo Takeshi to become the Kamen Rider. Why does he decide to actually rebel and to fight and to protect people, even though his augments are made to destroy everybody? Another thing that I liked was the action. There was some really cool fight scenes, really memorable moments that really used their new concept for the technology of that world. So I really liked the world building. It was really well done. But Thunder, why did you give it a meh then? The same problems that Shin Ultraman has, I think this movie has, and they kind of expand on it. One of my major complaints with Shin Ultraman was the breakneck speed and breakneck pace of the story that didn't allow for those characters to sit and kind of react to what was going on. And this is present here again. You see the characters go from monster of the week to monster of the week to monster of the week to monster of the week, and then you're in the final boss. So there is no time to breathe. There is one scene when these characters are not really fighting anything or going to fight anything, and then they're just talking, and that's one of the best parts of the movie, because you get to see the characters' motivation, you get to see them interact with what is happening around them. Even the beginning of the movie, the first scene, you're already thrown into the first episode battle. So there's no prelude where you get to meet those characters and the transformation happens. You're really thrown into this story, and then you just go on this roller coaster ride until the end. So and I think for an action standpoint, this is great. It's really fun, but in a 90-minute movie, you get 5 different shocker monsters. You get Nigo, you get Nigo becoming a good guy, you get the shocker riders, you get a brand new rider. There is so much happening in this movie that you kind of wish that it was broken up in different parts, especially because at the end they don't really solve the main problem. Like, Shocker is still there, the great leader, like I, is still there, so they just kind of solved a little bit by defeating one general, but and he wasn't even one of the big generals. So Dr. Shinigami is probably out there. They kind of reference the Shinigami group. They go through so many stuff that at the end of the day, you're like, these characters just spend a couple of days together. Why do I care about them? And if it wasn't for the awesome performances of the actors, you wouldn't really be able to relate to these characters at all. So on the topic of this new writer that I mentioned, the movie does a little bit of a bait and switch. You think that the bad guy, which is Ruriko's brother and, you know, Dr. Midorikawa's oldest son, is going to be, you know, Dr. Shinigami. He dresses like Dr. Shinigami. He has the hair of Dr. Shinigami, at least the new Dai Shocker version. But he ends up being Kamen Rider Zero, and which is not anything from the movie. I think that as a final boss, it would have been a lot cooler to see, especially because we did, you know, hear about the Shinigami group, and we heard about Ogs that are, you know, fused about two different animals, but that doesn't pay off at all. So it would have been a lot better, instead of introducing a brand new rider and saying, oh yeah, I was Kamen Rider Zero, to have him be the Ikadebiru, have him be the Squidorg, the Squidog, and, you know, keep it close to the original. I personally, I think that was a poor choice. I think what makes it worse for me than Shin Ultraman is the fact that this movie is really dark, in the sense of the story is really dense. There's a lot of, you know, questions about humanity, and questions about what it is to be nice, and if you're programmed to be a killer, and all those kind of stuff, and a lot of science words, and, you know, uploading your soul to the internet and things like that. But it does not have the levity that Shin Ultraman had. So there is no, you know, comedic relief character. There is no, there's nothing to break that tension. So you are in this tense, hyperspeed ride from beginning to end, and there doesn't seem to be a, you know, a bright light at the end. You do get it a little bit with Ichimonji, but Ichimonji only appears at the really very end of the movie, and half of the part that he's in there, he's a bad guy. So, you know, after he becomes a good guy, you see a little bit of that levity, and I get it. In the show, it was the same thing. Ichimonji was kind of like the kids' man of Kamen Riders, what really became a kids' show, but I still think that in the movie, that's something that you could have recontextualized a little bit better. And also, one thing that, you know, Shin Ultraman kind of benefits that Shin Kamen Rider does not benefit is the fact that it is connected to a larger world. Shin Ultraman is a direct sequel to the events of Shin Godzilla. So everything that happened in Shin Godzilla, you're rewarded by watching Shin Ultraman, and, you know, that pays off. In Shin Kamen Rider, you think that there's a connection because there's one actor that, you know, is there and is a government agent, and you don't know his name until the very end, and you think, hey, it's Kaminaga. It's the main character from Shin Ultraman, and he's there. And, you know, he's not possessed by Ultraman anymore, and he got revived, so he could be helping now Kamen Rider to you know, get this thread, and now we have everything connected. But at the end, no, it's a different character, Staki, from the show. So, you know, there is a lot of missed opportunity to create this concise world, and I'm sure, you know, Tsuburaya and Toei, and they don't want to play together, and I'm sure that, you know, Toho and Tsuburaya, they're a lot more friends than Tsuburaya and Toei, but it feels like such a shame that we didn't leverage this connected universe, especially because, you know, there are amusement parks and clothing lines they have all the Shin Japan superheroes as a brand now of all like Shin Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Evangelion, and Godzilla, and they appear together all the time. So why can't we just have these characters in the same universe? Finally, one of the things that I didn't enjoy is completely outside of the movie, and it's the fact that this movie is not getting a lot of attention. I don't know what Toei is doing, but they decided to announce the release date 2 weeks before the movie came out, and commercials are just hitting up the TV now, so you don't get a lot of stuff. There is no theme song. They didn't hire anybody to make a theme song for the movie, unlike Shin Ultraman, which, Yonezu Kenshi's theme song that I did an English version right here. If you wish strongly, I'll be there. It keeps in your head, and you're singing it along, and you're thinking of the movie. You're like, oh yeah, that's the Shin Ultraman song. Maybe I'll hit up this movie because it's really cool. I don't know. It feels like a lot of missed opportunities on a movie that could have been great, and I know that they want to set up a sequel because the movie basically tells you so, that Shocker is still out there, and Kamen Rider 1+2 is there now as the main rider, and they're ready to go get the Shocker, but the movie ends. So I don't know if they're gonna make a second one. Anno is not known to make sequels. Maybe they will, but it would depend on the reception on this one, and the way Toei is marketing it. It doesn't seem like they want that to happen. But yeah, so that's it. That is my review of Shin Kamen Rider. I hope that you get to see it soon. If you watched it, let me know what you thought below. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will be more than happy to tell you. But that's it. See you guys in the next video. Bye.